What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Gauntlet on a Saturday night to the award show. We got a lot of stuff to get into here with Detroit Dom, Tyler, and Denzel Snipes. So we're going to actually be going over everything. And then we also have Zach that's returning to the show. Our
Welcome back, Zach.
Yeah, Zach in the house. Zach Attack.
Yes, sir.
Zach Attack.
Zach Ranger.
Guys, how's everyone doing today?
Good. I'm doing good.
I just demolished some wings.
Yeah, I just had
excellent. And yes, Tyler, I got the ranch, but Wingstop Ranch is blue ribbon, man.
Ooh.
One of the greatest debates of all time is blue cheese.
I had a pot roast that me and Cassie had in the crock pot all day, and it's
definitely it's crock pot season. Well, I mean, it's crock pot season in places that have seasons, but I mean, winter's winter.
Right.
You should be crock pot and chili, Dom.
I was actually I'm gonna do something tomorrow, but then I realized Pro Bowl. I'm trying to brainstorm some stuff for next week. I'm gonna have a little superb owl party.
100%, guys. So, first of all, before we get into any awards, we definitely want to give a congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams for making it to the Super Bowl.
All right.
Before we get into anything, Zach, I know you wanted to share your thoughts about, what really happened in that game. I'll just say this about the AFC Championship. I pretty much thought the game was over when it was 21-3. And as bad as Patrick Mahomes played, I don't want to take credit away from the Cincinnati Bengals because I feel like they just had a really good game plan and they took advantage of Andy Reid getting outcoached. Andy Reid had poor game management and clock management in the second half of that game, having an 18-point lead. And, it was just pretty much a disaster for the Chiefs in the second half. But Zach, what were your thoughts on the Chiefs losing that AFC Championship and the Bengals advancing to the Super Bowl?
I mean, comparing halves, it was like watching two totally different games.
Exactly.
It was completely two different games. You had the first half, everything was rolling smoothly, and as you said, and a lot of others thought, it was looking like it was going to be over by halftime. And pretty much, I think a lot of it goes to the adjustments that the Bengals made going into the second half defensively. I mean, they took away pretty much all of Patrick Mahomes' real wheelhouses and everything. And that man was constantly under pressure. I mean, he got sacked. Patrick Mahomes got sacked more times than Joe Burrow got sacked in that game. And
crazy.
And I think Patrick Mahomes got caught up trying to get a little too cute with everything. Some of those plays where he was just running so many yards back, zigzagging everything else, it was just he couldn't make anything out of it. And it really did surprise me because if you would have told me last week that the Chiefs' offense going stagnant would have been their reason in losing, I would have thought someone was crazy. I really thought it would have came down to the defense. And as many weapons as Cincinnati has, I thought the defense held up about as well as you could have asked for. It was just the offense just went completely dry.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because obviously, and Zach, this isn't a shot at the Chiefs or a shot at Mahomes, but
yes, it is.
But the week before, everyone was dragging my quarterback at the time, or my current quarterback, I'll say, until he's traded possibly. But they were saying that Aaron Rodgers gave that game away, and James, we even pointed it out, and we discussed this too. Kansas City scores 3 points over the last 40 minutes. And then people are criticizing the way Rodgers was when you could say Mahomes lost that game because of his because of his play, and Green Bay lost because of their special teams. So it's interesting to me because to me it's just like he was like on cruise control in that second half.
Right.
Yeah.
He was on cruise control in that second half to me. That's what I really thought. Like honestly, there was no sense of urgency in Patrick Mahomes. Now it's the first time I've ever seen that. He's usually the guy that's wheeling and dealing, and you got to beat him for 4 quarters. And we saw it with Buffalo. His heroic performance towards the end of that game, the last minute and 56 seconds or whatever it was. How crazy that game was. But this time, watching it against the Bengals, he was playing cruise control in that second half, and I think that's why Cincinnati got back in the game.
It was a weird season. It was a weird season for Mahomes. Go ahead, Jay.
When the Bengals had that stop at the last play of the first half, the Bengals got the momentum, and they never gave it back. They never, ever gave it back. And also, and I'm sorry, Zach, I know you're going to hate to hear this, okay? But it could be that –
Don't apologize for your opinions.
It could be that the Bengals just have the Chiefs' number. You do realize they beat them twice in the month of January, right?
Right.
Weren't you the one that said that just the other day? And I was like, damn, you're right. Yeah.
Yes. And they beat them home in a way. The Bengals just had their number this year.
They beat them in a similar style each game. Same way.
While we're actually still on the subject, I want to ask everybody a question. So what Joe Burrow has done this season coming off of a torn ACL has been very impressive. He's showing that he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the game. So Joe Shiesty, if he goes and beats the Rams and wins a Super Bowl MVP coming off that torn ACL, are you guys going to say that he's the best young quarterback in the NFL? Or are we just being prisoners of the moment? Patrick Mahomes is still better than him? Or is he at least on par being as good as Patrick Mahomes at the very least?
I'll say on par. I'm
not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to jump the gun like everybody else and call one quarterback the GOAT after one season like they did Mahomes.
Right.
Right. At the end of the day, if Burrow wins, it was just his year. Now, him ascending, it remains to be seen. But as far as 2021 goes, he did his job. So, yes, I agree. He's not on Mahomes' level just yet. Burrow still has things he got to do. If he manages to win a league most valuable player before Allen or wins a couple more before Mahomes does, then we can say, okay, he's past Mahomes. He's the best young quarterback in the game. But you still got Herbert.
Would you be willing to say that he's past Josh Allen if he wins the Super Bowl this year?
If he gets a ring, I maybe say yes. Because, y'all know my opinion on Mahomes and Josh Allen, and I always get crucified for it. But I've got, as far as talent and ceiling, I've got Mahomes right there, and Josh Allen is right there as well. And then Burrow kind of right there with Josh Allen.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, I think, and Raylan just commented on what I was basically about to say. I think I still have to put Mahomes there because of the consecutive AFC Championship appearances and constantly putting his team in a position to get there. I think what Joe Burrow did this year is astounding, right? Like, that offensive line sucks. I thought that was an issue. He got hit more times in the pocket than any quarterback in the National Football League. He got sacked more than, second most in the National Football League. Like, their offensive line is trash. And,
your favorite set of stats.
Exactly. And they have a bunch of cap room, so they can make moves and bolster that offensive line. I thought Zach Taylor was going to get fired this season. So I apologize to him because, he secured his job.
We should all apologize. We should all apologize right now because we all picked them last. So on 3, sorry Bengals. 1, 2, 3. Sorry Bengals.
Sorry Bengals.
But I was gonna say Marvin was there 145 seasons. So he was there. He was a dinosaur, and he couldn't win a playoff game. And then Zach Taylor, has this year that they win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl.
It was just
amazing.
Sometimes it'd be like that, and I honestly swear that unknowingly somehow that Bengals team got charged up for people finally open their eyes and taking a look at them. I mean, we all picked them to be last. I don't know anyone on earth that even picked them as a dark horse to do anything. Once the playoffs started, me and Jay were talking about it. And we were like, "What about these Bengals?"
Yeah,
right.
Because remember,
it's a great story, and I love it.
We'll get into all the awards later on and, maybe elaborate on this take. But we all know that the Cincinnati Bengals are the team that we expected the Cleveland Browns to be. And I'll leave it at that. I will definitely leave it at that. So that's going to take us
the other day, I was dying because it was so true.
we're actually going to go into our first award. So our
Here we
first
go.
award, guys, is going to be the NFL Catch of the Year.
Hey.
And without further ado, guys, here's the nominees.
Let's go.
Bit of a low snap. Tannehill. Flag is out. Tannehill will throw down the field.
Give me that.
Helmet. Julio Jones catches
Phenomenal
it.
concentration by Julio Jones.
We're going to say he was bound off the helmet.
That's his personal highlight of the whole season because the rest of the year he was a ghost or a corpse.
These officials with this great bloodline.
Oh, man, dude.
Murray's the best.
Julio Jones, who people will talk about him as a receiver, but how he can't get no tutties in that end zone, in that red zone, man.
Yeah.
That's going to haunt him. It's going to haunt him for so long.
That was
Mark
sick.
Andrews had a great season this year.
Yeah, what a
Oh,
beast
yeah.
he was this year.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even say he came out of nowhere, but he definitely stepped up his level of play.
Kyle Pitts.
Mandrews, yeah, Mandrews, nice, man. It's
Kyle
nice
Pitts.
catch.
Is this going to be offensive pass interference because he had the arm back?
This is incredible.
I was kind of iffy on Kyle Pitts, but then Kelvin Ridley had whatever his issues were. What he played like 2 games and then sat out the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Pitts did
He had
that on
some
his
mental
own.
health stuff going on.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Isn't it amazing, though? He has that breakout game in London a couple.
Oh, gosh. This one right here. Jeez, this one's ridiculous.
This was my vote.
Yeah, this is my vote, Joe, here.
This is my vote.
What a ridiculous catch.
He caught it on the defender's helmet.
He said David Tyree.
That was draped all over him. Look at that.
That's better than the David Tyree catch.
How many receptions did Ward even have this season?
Dude,
That
one
was
of
his
the most
first catch.
ridiculous.
That, ironically,
That
that you
may
asked
have
that
been his
question,
only
Tyler,
catch of the year.
Dude,
I mean,
why
he's like a 5th string running back and a special
that was
teams
his-
guy.
that was his
Man.
first catch. That was his first catch of the season.
Between that and OBJ years ago, why do crucial catches be happening to the Cowboys?
It's true. Yeah. Backbreakers, man.
Back.
So, guys,
All right.
the winner is Cardinals running back Jonathan Ward.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
think that most of you guys said that you voted for him. Great catch by him. The concentration, even though the defenders draped all over him, he catches the ball on the defender's helmet. Special teams play, fake punt. Doesn't really get any better than that, but definitely there were a lot of great catches in the NFL this season. So congratulations to Jonathan Ward. You guys got
Right
any
on.
thoughts on that?
So, all I'm going to say is and I saw Ray Lynn's comment, should be unanimous, LOL. Some of these awards are unanimous, okay? We will say that. Some of them are. It just is what it is.
Some of them are really good, though. Some of them aren't.
Yeah. Some of them are unanimous, but this one was one. I mean, what a ridiculous catch, honestly. What a ridiculous
We need to
catch.
come up with a name for these awards, like an Academy Award is an Oscar. We'll work on that.
The Pepsi Rookie of the Year. The Fago Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, see?
There
Now
you
you're
go.
talking.
There you go.
You're talking.
There you go.
All right, guys. So, Tyler, I'm actually going to give the floor to you on this one because you are going to present us with the award for the 2021 Game of the Year.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the nominees are, drum roll, please.
So we got the Packers and the Cardinals mid-season. We have the Lions taking on the Vikings. We have the AFC divisional between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And then we have the NFC divisional as well between the Rams and the Buccaneers. And the winner is by a landslide, and it should be. It's the AFC divisional, of course, between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. We talked about it a little bit earlier. What an absolutely ridiculous game. Nothing but touchdowns, towards the end of it. That last minute 56 is probably maybe the craziest playoff last minute 56 I've ever seen. I mean, I didn't expect it. Credit to the Chiefs. A lot of people A lot of people hated on that playoff rule. I don't care. I've never had an issue with that rule, to be honest. That's on them. That's on Leslie Frazier and the defensive schemes that they put themselves in. Like, sorry, I think Kansas City fairly won that game. I've really, went to bat for them, Zach. But yeah, credit to both of them. What a shootout of a game, and the best playoff game we've seen this season so far.
I'm with Raylan. That's one of the three best football games I've ever seen.
13 seconds left on the clock in that game. What's going through your head when you guys get the ball? Got 13 seconds left. You guys are down, I think, a field goal. Need to get into field goal range to force overtime.
Man, like
he's speechless, but I don't even think he was worried.
Yeah,
Andy Reid definitely wasn't worried.
No, he wasn't. I mean, he told him after the game, when things get grim, become the Grim Reaper. And he did, But that was just a colossal failure on the part of the Bills defense. You let Kelsey, of all people, run free for 2 straight plays to get him in field goal range. Because if they get in field goal range, Butker is damn near automatic. He's going to hit it. And he did. And then they went to overtime, and Allen never saw the field. That was just a colossal. I mean, for the there had to be a winner, but for the Bills to lose like that, I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, it's on Leslie Frazier. It's for sure on Leslie Frazier for that game.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, not taking nothing away. Credit to the Chiefs. They hung in there. They did their thing. This is what kind of makes them complete. Is not only that they dominate, but when the chips are down, can they will their way to victory? And last but not least, fellas, don't ever let your significant other tell you 13 seconds is not enough ever again.
Oh, man. You're too much. All right, that's definitely one for the books, guys. So, yeah, congrats to the Chiefs and the Bills for putting on a great performance game of the year. So, next category, Dom, you're actually going to, or actually, no, Jay, you're going to be taking this one. It's most surprising team. So can I get another drum roll, if that's okay?
Here we go.
And the nominees are...
The drum rolls after you name the nominees, before you name the winner.
No, it's before you name the nominees, bro.
It's not.
Okay, so here's the nominees.
And the winner is drum roll, but keep going.
Yeah. All right, so most surprising team... of course, we have the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow coming off his torn ACL and putting up a hell of a story, a hell of a season. They win the division. They win a playoff game. They win another playoff game. They win the AFC. I mean, absolutely shocking. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals, who led by a quarterback, Kyler Murray, and under the coaching of Cliff Kingsbury. Then they also made a couple moves. They got J.J. Watt this past season. They actually willed their way into the playoffs as well. Then you have the New England Patriots, who essentially was starting all over post-Brady, post-Cam Newton era with Mac 10 Jones, old McCorkle. And,
Thank you.
And,
thank you.
And they managed to will their way into the playoffs, and the Patriots just put the NFL on notice that no, it is not over. We will be back. Then you have Philly Jim's Philadelphia Eagles, who exceeded a lot of expectations this year. There was a couple of people who said that we ain't gonna say no names, but they said the Eagles would only win
5 games. 5 games. Yep. It was me. It's fine. I've got great takes. I've got plenty of terrible ones. That was one.
Hey man,
but good for y'all.
But the Eagles not only under Jalen Hurts not only managed to make the playoffs, but they won the trade war because they have a first-round pick selection from the Indianapolis Colts. So those are your 4 2021 NFL most surprising teams.
Absolutely. Definitely some great nominees. And the winner of this is obviously the Cincinnati Bengals for what they've done, not only in the regular season, winning the AFC North. I don't think before the season any of us said that Cincinnati would be where they are in the playoffs, winning that division.
We all picked them last, didn't we?
Over Cleveland, Pittsburgh, or Baltimore, any of those 3 teams. But
don't feel bad. A lot of people picked them last.
They won the division and so much more. They won the AFC, and possibly they're going to win the Super Bowl. And if they do, winning the first ring for Cincinnati, I can just attest to that as a fan that recently saw in the last few years what it's like to win your first ring. It's definitely an amazing feeling. So it'll be really interesting, guys. But the Bengals definitely proved everyone wrong. And as I said, the Cleveland Browns really underachieved, and the Cincinnati Bengals took advantage of that. So the Cincinnati Bengals actually are where a lot of us thought the Browns would beat.
Yes.
Because the Browns were supposed to be this great team, and a lot of people picked them.
Browns
champions in the preseason.
Browns beat them twice this year, right? Browns beat them twice this year, right?
They did.
Yeah, I believe so.
But going into the season, everybody had Cleveland or Ravens. I had Ravens winning the division.
I had the Browns,
so Cleveland was supposed
I thought last year was their year, you know.
Yeah, nobody picked anyone besides Cleveland or Baltimore.
So this season, Cleveland was supposed to be it, and Cincinnati was supposed to be that other Ohio team. Have the tables turned.
Right. Did it sound weird to anyone else at the beginning of this award segment when James said AFC champion Bengals?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, listen. It's been weird that we're even talking about like even when the Bengals got in the playoffs,
we're still talking about the Bengals, and it's February.
That's what my whole point was when they made the playoffs. I won't lie, I was hesitant because I was like, this team don't win playoff games. They don't win playoff games. It's just
the new era, sir.
Tyler, we actually had a segment where we were discussing like who would.
We were on that Jay
matchup, and you said in Indianapolis.
These aren't the Marvin Lewis Bengals.
Than the Bengals were.
I said it on this telecast several episodes ago. Y'all seen it. I said the Bengals would steal a playoff game this year.
Well, yeah, we both did.
But I just didn't see them go
playoff games.
Hold on. I said it a couple weeks. I said they're going to win a playoff game, but then it's going to end. That's why I said.
No, I said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
me too. This far.
Yeah, me too.
The Bengals have definitely
I said steal one, and then they got Tennessee, and I said I don't consider beating Tennessee. To me, that's not stealing one. They stole two, and they beat the Titans.
Well, no, I think they stole that one. The way that Tennessee played that game and had 9 sacks on Joe Burrow, they stole that game.
Okay, the 9 sacks.
The
Titans
were the number one seed. They had Derrick Henry coming back. Everyone.
The
Bengals stole that game. Tom.
Team is one of the worst number 1 seeds in the AFC in 10 years.
That might be true, but that's not how it was perceived by the media and everyone involved.
Not me.
Everyone was saying,
the
Titans
saw that from a mile away. Ryan Tannehill is who we thought he was.
Anyway, that's a good way to segue into our next category, guys, which is going to be our most disappointing team. And Dom, we know that this is your category. So do you want to?
This is a good one. This is a good one here.
Yeah,
it was
a very good one. We actually had to do another poll.
No, because anyone with a brain predicted them for 5 or 6 wins. But thank you for your input. Anyone that thought Carolina was any good was foolish.
James thought they were going to be good. James thought they were going to be good.
The nominees for the 2020.
I thought they were going to be not trash. And
the nominees for the 2021 most disappointing NFL team are.
God, all these are good choices.
Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts.
Should have been the only choice.
Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. The slightly overrated defense of the Washington Commanders. Do we have to call them the Commanders now?
Yeah,
that doesn't.
We have to call them the Commanders.
It doesn't flow. It doesn't sound good. Is this what we waited 2 years for? Commanders. That was terrible. That's what you went with. And last but not least, the diva DK Metcalf and the Seattle Seahawks. Drum roll.
Look at his
that man had Geno Smith.
Winner is the Cleveland Browns.
Man, come on, man.
This was close.
It was close, though. It was really close.
And listen, and Ray Lynn said
in the closest vote of, I believe, all the voting for every award, this was the closest one.
No, it was tied.
Almost.
Tied. It was tied. But I will say Raylan had a good comment too. He said the Seahawks, and I will say the Seahawks would have been a good choice too, especially because like guys like Jay on this set picked the Seahawks to win the NFC West this year.
West.
Same with Dom as well. So
I know.
So certainly understand.
I knew the Seahawks were terrible.
I just knew Pete was gone.
Russell Wilson didn't even miss that many games with that injury.
I can't even believe he's still there. Can't believe that gum chewer is even still there.
Geno Smith almost beat Pittsburgh. Let that sink in.
Geno Smith, bro.
I wish I knew his middle name just so I could call him out by his full government name.
I thought
Eugene Smith.
But I thought what the Browns did in the offseason, and I thought all the moves, having a good draft, getting Joke in the draft, getting all these pieces, they were getting healthy. That offensive line is one of the best in football, if not the best in football. Like it's top 3 at least. So
you ready for this?
You have all those.
Geno Smith born Eugene Cyril Smith III.
The third.
Cyril, like the crazy brother from Oz with the sock puppet.
Oh, yeah.
Jay knows. The rest of y'all are like,
Definitely. To be honest with you guys, I voted for the Indianapolis Colts.
Same
Big
here.
surprise. But my reason is this. What did we hear the entire time where there was all this drama with the Eagles and Carson Wentz, and the Eagles did Carson Wentz wrong, blah, blah, blah. Doug Peterson's the problem. Everyone but Carson Wentz is the problem, so there's no accountability there. He goes to Indianapolis, and then there's this narrative of Frank Reich making him look like an MVP candidate in 2017. Everything's going to go back to the way it was. He had a decent year. Honestly, he had a better year than he did in 2020, but it's not really hard to do because that was the worst football he's ever played. And then he goes to Indianapolis, and when the chips are down, you're going against Jacksonville, the worst team in the league, the team that has the number 1 pick in the draft.
Doesn't matter.
Jonathan Taylor's being neutralized. And when you're a quarterback like Carson Wentz that's supposed to be a franchise QB, you're with Frank Reich, everything's supposed to be better. You're making a certain amount of money. You're supposed to make the plays in those type of games against inferior competition that's supposed to get you to the postseason, and he failed to do that.
The Colts haven't beat the Jaguars since Mark Brunell was the quarterback.
It's been a long time.
Also, I have an idea for a new segment. JTW, James Trashes Wentz.
And congratulations to Doug Peterson, by the way, on becoming the next head coach of Jacksonville. So we're actually going to see Doug and Carson going up against each other twice a year.
Yeah, and they're
definitely deserving as well.
And I'll respond to Ray Lynn's comment too. He said, "Is it fair to say that the Cards were disappointing after how they started?" That depends on how you view the Cardinals. Like for me personally, no, because I've seen Kyler Murray collapse in second halves of seasons. So I won't lie, when they started off hot this year, I thought, oh, it's going to come down to earth for Kyler Murray eventually. It just seems to be a pattern. And until I see otherwise from him, I'm willing to say the same thing. So he's a first half of his season quarterback.
He came out in that playoff game
looking
like Troy Smith.
I don't think very many people had the Arizona Cardinals making the playoffs before the season started. I think it was after they started off really hot.
I had them in. Ty, you picked them last, right?
That could do damage. Well,
no, I picked the Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks last. I picked the Seahawks last. I picked the Cardinals third, and then I had the 49ers. I had the 49ers second because I picked the Rams, but I kept saying, "Oh, the 49ers could win this division." That was my whole take.
It's funny because and James remembers my preseason prediction on the Browns. What did I say? I said the only thing that'll stop Cleveland from making a deep playoff run was Baker Mayfield or a rash of injuries. It actually ended up being a rash of injuries to Baker Mayfield.
I think the two worst takes I had, honestly, and I mean, I'll just say it real quick, was the Cleveland Browns. I thought they were going to win the North, and honestly, was Washington. I thought Washington was going to win the East, and that was
me too.
That was a terrible take on my ad.
You guys picked the Commanders to win the NFC East.
That was maybe the best list of 4 nominees in any category, because any one of those teams are very deserving of that award. Yeah. I wouldn't have been mad if any one of those teams won it.
We'll see about that later. We'll see about that later, Dom. We'll see who's the 4 best nominees of each award. But We're actually going to go on to our next category. Tyler, take us away.
Yeah, so
the MVP.
Who Tyler voted for.
You already know. So 2021 MVP of the National Football League. The nominees are Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, or Jonathan Taylor. And the winner is in a landslide victory, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Aaron Rodgers, the winner of the MVP.
Mr. Rodgers neighborhood.
Yeah, and not a shock, I think,
former Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe,
Reports are saying Aaron's staying in Green Bay for the time.
Sorry, Raylan. I love Cooper too, but not even on the Gauntlet Awards show do wide receivers win MVPs. Sorry, not sorry. It's just the way it is, sir.
Raylan and Dom.
Cup's got an argument.
Yeah, but I will say real quick, Raylan.
No, that's the Stafford effect. Come on, let's be real.
Raylan and Dom are so similar. They're those Detroit Lion fans that are like heavily rooting for the Rams for Stafford, and I respect it.
Heavily outspoken
because I rooted against Stafford for so long.
What choice do we have? We got to get on top of buildings and scream, otherwise no one will even hear what the hell we're saying.
Man, I'm just going to be an honest casual about it, like most people are. I just want a good game. That Super Bowl last year was so bad. I just want a good game. That's all I want. Super Bowl was terrible last year.
I've been saying that for all of my Super Bowl watching life, and that was what pulled me in on that. I don't even remember what Super Bowl that was or what year, but the second Bengals-Niners was the 88-89 Super Bowl. And that was a really great game.
In the back of the end zone.
Yeah, but I'm pulling up in my Packers stuff, for the Super Bowl. As you should with the Chiefs, the Texans, the Eagles, the Lions.
Yeah, got to represent still.
Yeah.
I wore a tuxedo for the award show.
So
is that what you got on? Tuxedo shirt?
It's a America tuxedo.
I really feel as though all these guys are like somewhat have an argument. Jonathan Taylor was carrying the Indianapolis Colts this year. There's no doubt about that at all. But when it was all said and done, when he got shut down, obviously we saw the impact that it had on the Colts. And they really couldn't do anything without him when he was neutralized.
It really sucks that he's going to get hurt next year.
Is the most efficient quarterback that we've ever seen play the game. You guys can hate him or love him or whatever you want to say, but he is the most efficient with the ball. He does not make mistakes. He does not turn the ball over. I want to say he had 38 touchdown passes this year and like 4 interceptions or 5.
His lifetime touchdown to interception ratio is just ridiculous.
It's probably been quite a few years since
I can't remember who it was. Maybe
more than
I know most of you guys don't like him, but I believe it was Colin Cowherd who said it's to the point with Rodgers where he's so efficient. Like I think Aaron Rodgers really cares a lot about his touchdown to interception ratio. Like to the point where he's almost like a little bit too careful at times. Like I get it, don't throw a pick, but it's like sometimes you got to go for it and risk, because it's the polar opposite of Brett Favre. That dude would just throw the ball.
Yeah, but
I love gunslingers.
Aaron Rodgers has always been known as a careful gambler.
A smart gambler.
Right.
Yeah.
He takes the shots when he gets the free plays. Like he's really calculated with how he plays. He has one of the best dumb counts and literally in the league. Literally in the league. He gets people off sides all the time. He gets them to jump.
Yeah, as far as that goes, I had him and Breeze almost neck to neck like years ago, but it's Rodgers definitely.
Yeah, I remember having that debate with everybody, and I would always tell people, you're crazy if you take Drew Brees over Aaron Rodgers. You put Drew Brees.
Brees is just really accurate.
Lambeau Field,
and Sean Payton is a great offensive
Detroit,
mind.
Chicago. He's not going to have the same results. But if you put Aaron Rodgers in a dome, where he goes to Florida, North Carolina, twice a year, Atlanta, also in a dome, guy's going to light you up. 100%.
Yeah, that would be crazy to see Aaron Rodgers on a dome team or a warm weather team.
Well, I will say
37 touchdowns and 4 picks for Aaron Rodgers.
I will say what's interesting about Green Bay right now is that, just to add on to this, since we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, is that they are trying to get Rich Bisaccia right now for special teams. That's what that's what they're trying to go all in for. They're trying to overspend, to get a special teams coordinator in here that can actually do his job. So, I mean, maybe that's why the reports are coming out that Aaron and Devontae are going to stay. I mean, I have my own reasoning. I still think they're going to leave. I just do. I don't think the numbers are going to work. But if they do stay, I think a big reason will be, because they go out and they get, they make corrections and you get to bring in a new special teams coordinator.
Absolutely.
What's next?
All right, Dom, you are back up, and it is 2021.
Hang on a second. Before you do that, we're at the halfway point of the show. Dom, you want to let them know a little something?
About the Score No Score app? I would love to. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes. Remind them about the Score No Score app.
The Score No Score app is super cool. You can go and download it in the App Store. It's in-game betting. The coins are really cheap. You can it's football and baseball now, right? Basketball part of it?
No, football and baseball.
Football, baseball. So you have, and I guarantee you, because people love to gamble, I promise you there are in-game and prop bets for tomorrow's Pro Bowl. You can bet on, the first touchdown, the first 15-yard run, the score at the end of quarters. It's cool. Go check it out. Score No Score.
All right.
So the nominees are
the 2021 Gauntlet Awards Show Defensive Player of the Year nominees are from the Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons. From the Pittsburgh Steelers, TJ Watt. From the Cleveland Browns and all their disappointment, Myles Garrett. And a yearly nominee, I can't imagine, probably every season of his career he's been a nominee for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. From the LA Rams, Aaron Rodgers.
Donald.
Come on, bro.
What did I say? Rodgers? Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
The
winner, in a pretty close vote, I believe.
Yeah, it was close.
Was Micah Parsons. Thank you, Cowboys fans, for stuffing the ballot box.
Yeah, can you believe that? We had the defense.
He won that?
He won.
Over TJ Watt?
I know.
Yeah, bro, all the Cowboys fans stuffed the ballot box.
Cowboys
fans
everywhere.
They really
How
did.
he win that?
That ain't no.
That is great. Micah Parsons is great.
He had a great season.
Listen,
there's no shot.
Again, four very worthy nominees, but you can't.
TJ had tied the sack.
He tied the sack record.
So thank you for swaying the vote.
Freaking way, bro.
Look at our homegirl, Megan Price.
Unbelievable.
She was one of the ones.
Megan, we're not hating. He's not.
Thank you for swaying the vote, Megan Price, the Queen of Hoops, Mark Bell,
the all-time record for sacks. Myles Garrett had over 20 sacks as well.
You know what this is? Man. This is where people Cowboys fans trying to call Micah Parsons the defensive player of the year. It's like 5 years ago when they said Cole Beasley was the best slot receiver in the NFL.
Columbia moment.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Dude, man, I'm almost convinced some of y'all got a burner account.
Yeah, bro. You know what? This is rigged for real.
Let me take this moment to thank everyone that voted for all of these awards on Facebook and Twitter. We appreciate you greatly. We love the engagement. Thank you. Everyone that retweeted our awards, everyone that shared everything on Facebook, we appreciate you.
We don't appreciate this, Mike.
You Cowboys fans, we do not appreciate you.
Cowboys fans.
It's like when the Royals had 7 players in the All-Star game.
Yeah, these comments are so funny, Megan and Raylan.
This is that.
Raylan said Megan created profiles and voted 37
I blame Moppy for this,
Thank
bro.
you.
Some of y'all
got on some y'all burner accounts and voted 2, 3, 4 times.
Hannibal Cthulhu.
I know for a fact Moppy has at least 3 profiles. Megan has more than one. Yeah. We know what's up. But shout out to you, Michael Parsons, on your award. Pick it up backstage.
No
acceptance speech.
Listen, Michael Parsons is a great player, and we were just talking in the green room. But man, he's going. This was this mean? Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
I would be more happy to give him Defensive Rising Star than
I didn't
Player of the Year.
I didn't see it coming. I really thought TJ was going to win this. Honestly,
come on. Anytime where there's a cowboy anywhere and you let people vote, the cowboy's going to win.
Hey man, somebody did. Hey man, we're gonna have to find out who's behind this. This sounds like Patriots, like Spygate. It's like Ballotgate.
Ballotgate. Somebody interfering with the voting booth.
Yeah,
that's a real voting scam right
we
there.
got like hanging chads going on right now, or some shit going on right now.
Votes were destroyed. This is worse than when Bush stole the nomination.
Yeah, right. This is
presidency.
Some hanging Chad issues right now we got going on. We got some technical difficulties going on with our awards. There's some collusion going.
I'm throwing the red challenge flag on this, but we don't have all night to talk about this, so we're gonna actually move on to our next award. Our next award is Offensive Rising Star, and that's going to be presented by Jay Nelson.
Oh, this was a close one. This was a close one.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one too.
Yeah,
great job by the way, James, coming up with these categories.
Yeah, absolutely. So NFL Offensive Rising Star, we definitely had some crazy young talent come out this year. Of course, we got Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings, and then we also have who I feel is Percy Harvin 2.0, Deebo Samuel. And then we also making another category is Indianapolis Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. And then we have the man who set the rookie record for receiving in Jamar Chase for the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. I'll say that every time I get the chance on this telecast.
This was close. This was close.
So, yeah,
this was a great group. This was a really great group. But those are your four nominees. And the winner was 49ers wide receiver / running back Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know
Deebo
what?
Samuel, his 2021 stats, he had 77 receptions for 1,405 yards and 6 touchdown receptions. He also had 59 rushes for 365 yards, 8 touchdowns. All told, he put up 1,770 yards of total offense and 14 total touchdowns.
Yeah.
He definitely put in work, and he was also a first-team All-Pro selection, so you definitely got to give him.
Deebo.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was tough for me because I think all four. Honestly, I really think all four can win. Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. Like, just playing just, and I mean, Tom, you know too, and Raylan knows too, because they're obviously in the North too. Like Justin Jefferson is special. I hate playing Justin Jefferson,
but so good.
Deebo Samuels, he's one of those Swiss Army knives, just like Cordell Patterson was, for example. Cordell Patterson. No, I'm talking about Cordell Patterson for the Falcons. They're those Swiss Army players. Yeah, they're those Swiss Army players. Like, I mean, he had 1,559 receiving yards. He had 502 rushing yards, and he had 16 total touchdowns. He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Patterson did?
Deebo did.
Oh, Deebo.
Patterson did. Patterson didn't have the numbers he did, but Patterson does the same things as Deebo does.
It's funny because I used to call Cordell. I used to call Cordell Corda because he's dumb, and then Cordarrelle Patterson could be Cordarrelle because the reason that he's a Swiss Army knife now is because he is mentally incapable of developing a route tree. Please don't sue me, Cordarrelle Patterson. You're a great player, great athlete. Just work on your route tree. That's all I ask.
Yeah, those are the guys you want on your fantasy teams, though.
Yeah, guys. Jimmy G.
A lot of people, Raylan, didn't realize Deebo was like top 4, top 5 in receiving yards and all those rushing yards.
Well, nobody realized that he was a first-team All-Pro selection.
He said he didn't realize.
First-team All-Pro selection, that means you're recognized as one of the best players in the league. But at the same time, guys, my vote was 100% Jonathan Taylor on this one.
Ooh, you voted for him? I voted for Debo.
He was a clear MVP candidate. He rushed for 1,800 yards this year. He had around 300 receiving yards. So when it's all said and done, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and 20 total touchdowns for the season. And like Ray Lynn said earlier, the Indianapolis Colts, when he rushed for 100 yards, were 9-1, and they were 0-7 when he didn't.
It's just a shame he's going to get hurt next year.
So that's the biggest thing. You know, everything that he did for that Colts team coming into his second year, he really showed that this guy is, without a doubt, a workhorse running back and going to be playing at an elite high level for many years to come. But I love Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. They put in the work too. Debo had an outstanding year, so I'm not entirely too disappointed that, you know, Debo comes out on top.
Well,
he was a first team All-Pro.
I'm going to say this, even though this doesn't tie too much to award, because obviously I'm going off of season stats because that's how we do it. We judge it on the season. But if you look at the playoffs, when Debo got hurt, right, in that game against the Cowboys, he was banged up, and then he comes back the next week against Green Bay, and, you know, he's hurt in that game. He comes out of the tunnels in the second half and returns a kickoff to the 50-yard line. Like, what's so crazy about Debo Samuel is he just can do everything. He can do everything. He's in and out so much. He's not out of a lot of snaps in general. So, you know, it's just crazy. Like, those players, just like Raylan was talking about as well in the comments, you know, those Pattersons and Samuel, those are the guys you want on your fantasy team for a reason, because they're literally in the game the whole game almost.
Megan, I'm not wishing injury on people. I'm accurately predicting it. What did I say in the preseason about Derrick Henry? Any one of my esteemed co-hosts can tell you. What did I say about Derrick Henry?
He was going to get hurt this year.
Yeah, you did.
Every elite running back has got hurt for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Every single freaking one.
Hey, Tyler.
Well, it looks like we found a worse curse than the Madden curse, and that is the Dom curse.
Curse. Real quick,
I'll own that shit.
To your point, Tyler, is Debo, he been taking snaps in the backfield probably because Mostert had been on IR all year. So he actually won't be asked to do so much next year once Mostert comes back. I know you hate hearing that name. I'm sorry.
Hi, Elijah Mitchell, 970 some rushing yards this year. I'm sick of the Elijah Mitchell. Not even disrespect, just. What's one step up from lack of disrespect?
Mostert's not on the 49ers anymore. Mostert's not on the 49ers anymore.
Raylan says he's not a star.
He's on IR.
What did they do with Trey Sermon this year? Was he hurt all year, or
in and out of the lineup? That San Francisco O-line is so good. You can put anyone back there.
Yeah.
It's like Dallas in the 90s and Denver in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like,
it's borderline. It's borderline. I see what Raylan's saying. It's borderline 25. It's borderline. I gotcha.
Yeah, if you're 26, you're not a young rising star. But yeah, 25 and under.
He's 25.
Next year we'll rename it the Raylan 25 and under star.
We'll have Raylan on next year.
Raylan Award.
25 and under star.
It's kind of like when you go to like those restaurants and they say like kids eat for free, and you got like a 6 foot tall like 15-year-old, and you're like, yeah, he's 7.
Or that reminds me of that little leaguer back, like, I think y'all remember back in like 2013 or something like that, for Little League Baseball. He played for Puerto Rico. They said he was 12 years old, but he legit looked like he was 17. He was like 6'2".
Yeah,
he was like
it's
220.
It's like the movie. It's like the movie Dodgeball when the Girl Scout is taking beaver tranquilizers.
Oh yeah.
Yo, there was a player just recently signed into the MLS at 14 years old. Y'all need to
Freddie Adu.
Well, he beat Freddie Adu's record. This dude just got signed this year. His name's like Axel Key, Kei. Dude, if you look him up, there's no way he's 14 years old.
Freddie Adu was such a disappointment.
Videos of like kids that are in Pop Warner, and there was like this kid who was like supposedly 12 years old, and he was like 6'4" and like 300 pounds, and he was playing offensive line. And
It's
then
the old Danny Alamonte story.
Running over these little kids like it was nothing.
Crazy.
What's the next award, and who's presenting?
We still got what, 2 more?
It's defensive young star.
Ooh, okay. This is you, Dom, right? Or no, this is
No, we did that.
I had defensive rising star. I took the votes for that one.
All right, there you go. Then Jay, take us away on this one. We have our nominees right here.
All right. For defensive rising young star for 2021, we have on the top left corner cornerback Patrick Surtain II. If any of y'all old heads out here who had the pleasure of watching his father play, his father was an outright dog, and his son is just a chip off the old block his whole time in Alabama. Funny part is the Cowboys were supposed to get Surtain II, and then Denver put an FU move and stole him right underneath it. I thought that was hilarious. But you got Pat Surtain. Then you also have defensive end Jeffrey Simmons for the Tennessee Titans, who was a part of that vaunted defense that helped them get to the #1 seed. Then also you have who's that? Oh, safety Jesse Bates III.
Who's that? How dare you?
But
yeah, bro, that was messed up.
No, safety Jesse Bates III for the Cincinnati Bengals, who's a part of that awesome young defense that helped propel them to the AFC Championship game and ultimately the Super Bowl. And then on the bottom right, Cowboys fans, here we go again. It's Michael Parsons. I know
this is some bullshit, man. This is messed up. How could we allow this to happen?
We about to just erase this whole episode, man.
How can we allow this to happen?
Stop.
None of us. It was none of. It was.
He won 2 awards.
I'm coming to AP dresses.
Hold on. What's so funny is that none of us voted.
Bro, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I voted for Parsons. He deserves this award. He did not deserve Defensive Player of the Year. This is BS.
And the
I know
winner,
there's kids watching.
And the winner
is
linebacker Micah Parsons. On the year, he had 64 solo tackles, which ranked 43rd in the league, but he had 13 sacks, which ranked 6th, and he had 3 forced fumbles tied for 13th. He probably is deserving of the 4, but damn sure not over TJ Watt for DPOY. I'll argue with anybody on that.
Okay. He deserves this. He deserves it. I'm not taking anything away from him. But yeah, Micah Parsons was a stud. He's easily the best defensive rookie in the league, and he's gonna be a huge problem for years to come. His speed, he goes sideline to sideline. He does everything. He can rush the passer. Micah Parsons is elite. He's definitely gonna be winning future defensive players of the year. But one thing I gotta bring up though is Jeffrey Simmons had an outstanding year, and I don't think that he's getting like the recognition.
Oh yeah, under the radar for sure.
He had 12 tackles for loss, and he had 18 quarterback hits. So this guy was definitely getting to the quarterback early and often. He was getting sacks. He was being productive. He was affecting the run game as well. So I think Jeffrey Simmons is a great piece of the Tennessee Titans defense that they're going to be able to build around, and he's going to be really good also for many years.
Jesse Bates was my pick. He's the best safety in the league, not named Minka. He might just be the best safety, period. The Gauntlet Awards sports show brought to you by the Dallas Cowboys fans and their votes.
Man, this is...
I believe it, Raylin. I believe it.
Hey, man, we're going to investigate this.
You got to call the feds on that much.
I'm going to call the league officials right now.
How many did Beyonce win the Grammys in one night? Wasn't it like 6?
We need you to investigate Megan Price.
Did Beyonce win? Did Beyonce win 6 Grammys in one night? Right?
Ew.
Okay, bye.
Was that Beyonce or Adele?
No, I think Beyonce. I think Beyonce won 6 in one night before. Michael Parsons stealing the show here tonight, guys.
Check the IP addresses. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys.
What else?
Are you guys ready? Are you
Main
guys
event?
Oh, here we go.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you guys
We've been
ready
doing this for like 10 months.
Let's do this.
This is the grand finale.
Yeah, here we go.
I need a real drum roll for this, baby. Let me get something good. Let me get something spicy.
Nate, say the nominees. Before you name it, I will give you a drum roll.
So anyone, before this award is announced, anyone that's been watching our show, we've been doing this for 10 months now, and we every week have a sports moron of the week in which we all go around and we share we think, is our moron in sports for the week. So based off of, all of our data of who's been selected week after week after week, we have come up with 4 candidates for Sports Moron of the Year.
Bro, I'm so hyped for this. This is gonna be amazing.
You let me know when you want the drum roll. I got you.
All right, so the nominees are Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield,
Good list. Such a good list.
former Raiders head coach John Gruden, Ben Simmons, the so-called point guard of the Philadelphia 76ers that's already been fined $19 million a year and blames everybody for his problems, even though he sucks.
Oh, this list is so good.
Of course, the great
This is
Urban
the best list.
Meyer.
Big Pimpin' Maya.
This is the best list for sure.
Let me get a real drum roll for this. Let me get a real drum roll for this.
And the winner is.
And the winner.
I want to
Winners are
Winners.
Sports Morons of the Year.
Ooh,
Urban
tie.
Meyer and Ben Simmons. We did everything we could. We posted polls on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And when all the votes were tallied up, we did
It
one
was a
last
dead tie.
poll.
It was a dead
It
tie
was a
even for
dead
that.
tie between Urban and Benjamin. So I
Wow, that is.
I think we will.
It was crazy.
I think, and it's crazy because Ben looked like he was going to run away with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
getting all the votes, and then Urban made a comeback. So honestly, like even for the Sports Moron of the Year, you couldn't depend on Ben Simmons in the fourth quarter to make the free throws and put the game away because
both Urban Meyer and Ben Simmons submitted a lot of content.
Well, yeah, I was going to say though.
That's how bad Ben Simmons is. He blew a big lead on a negative award.
Yeah.
He couldn't even win the one thing we wanted him to win. He still couldn't win.
Well, what's so crazy? What's so crazy is that we did there are so many polls. We did a poll on Twitter. We asked on Facebook.
We did multiple polls.
We did multiple posts on our sports groups that were on Facebook. It was still a tie. So James said, you know what? I want to have a winner. So we're going to post another poll to declare who's the winner. And guess what? It's still a tie. So yes, they both deserve it.
That was a award.
Both very deserving.
How do you?
So let's start with Urban. Let's start with Urban though, just to give a recap of the whole situation with him. So
from hiring the racist coach,
from day one, first press conference, he goes up to the podium. And he literally can't even name like 3 players that's on the roster. He goes into the season, he's out partying with like some random like 22-year-old girl. And the funniest thing, guys, is when
brought in Tim Tebow. He could have brought in somebody that could have competed.
The girl posted on her Instagram story and said, "Does anyone know who this guy is? He keeps flirting with."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He kicked one of the players like in warm-ups or something.
He wouldn't even
ride with the team on the way back.
Josh Lambo, yeah.
He's a terrible coach and a terrible leader. Like we all knew that this wasn't going to work out.
Well, he hired that racist coach that lasted like 2 days, and then they're like, no, you can't hire him. You can't.
Urban Meyer is a certified scumbag. Like, there's a special place in hell for Urban Meyer. See you there. I'll be in a suite down the hall.
I just can't believe someone would be like, you know what? I really root for Urban. Says no one ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Says
and you
no
know
one.
what? I think what Urban did is he sabotaged his career. I don't even think at the college level, like any of these big programs, I don't think they're going to take a chance on Urban.
He
Just from
screwed
all
up.
the stuff that he did. I think he really sabotaged himself and ruined any opportunities to
I was
have a successful career.
I was positive he was going to pull the Bobby Petrino and go to USC, especially after USC fired their coach in like week 3 of the college football season.
He burned too many bridges. He burned too many bridges.
Then they hired Lincoln Riley, and then Urban Meyer became the dude in a relationship that doesn't want to throw in the towel. So he's like, I'm just going to do a bunch of messed up stuff so you break up with me.
So you break up with me, yep.
I'm not even sure that someone on TV like
hasn't been there.
I don't even think ESPN or Fox Sports or anybody would want him after all the stuff that he's done with his.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be on the.
I don't know, man.
So let's move to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons,
so the Simmons saga. So this all began after Game 7 in the playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks, where he passed the ball when he had a wide open dunk against Trae Young, who Ben is much bigger than. He's
like 3 feet taller than Trae Young.
What does Trae Young got to do? Like, Trae Young is not going to contest a dunk at that moment in the game.
Maybe he was afraid that Trae Young would curse him with his male pattern baldness.
That was the turning point of the game, and that's really the main reason the Sixers lost that Game 7. They didn't handle business the rest of the series, so you can argue that it shouldn't have got to that point, but that was the turning point of that particular game. Moving on, in the post-game press conferences, Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers, they both made comments about Ben saying, the turning point of that game was when he passed the ball, and Doc Rivers said he doesn't know Ben as a championship point guard, and I don't think anybody would. I don't think any coach would think that about a guy who's borderline unplayable in the fourth quarter. Doesn't really score. He didn't attempt any field goals in the fourth quarter of that playoff series, which was very alarming. He ghosts the team for the whole summer. There was a report that came out last week that he was upset Doc Rivers did not visit him while he was in LA, even though Ben cut off all communication from the Sixers teammates and the coaches. So he's blaming Doc Rivers for not coming to see him when he wasn't even interested in having communication. And there was a point in the offseason where the whole Sixers team, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, a lot of his other teammates wanted to fly to LA and try to talk to him, work things out so Ben could come back and play for the team way before the season. He uses mental health as a crutch, which I think is disgusting because a lot of people and athletes have been dealing with mental health problems.
Actual mental health issues.
He's using mental health as a crutch for why he doesn't want to face the music. He doesn't want to face the Philadelphia fans, the media, after what he did. So he's pretty much just showing why he's a huge coward. And, yeah, and no one's going to really want to deal with a player like this that has this kind of mentality on the team. So Ben Simmons definitely deserves this award as well as Urban Meyer. So those are my thoughts on the Ben Simmons situation.
In retrospect,
he's a coward, and I have no respect for him whatsoever.
In retrospect, I'm not mad that the vote was deadlocked because they're both I'm okay with co-sports morons of the year. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it also. And to your point, James, remember at one point in time, what did Doc Rivers say? If you think I'm going to pull Ben Simmons, you don't know basketball. He
did say that. He stood up relentlessly for Ben Simmons.
He did. But I'm not saying throw him under the bus, but don't go that far. Oh, you don't know basketball. We're watching what Ben's doing on TV.
Or not doing.
Some of the things, I get it, you're defending your player, but some things are just indefensible.
Who says we don't know basketball?
Doc Rivers.
Oh. I thought you were meaning someone we know. I'm like, well, don't listen to him.
No.
Just like, who cares? I was about to say, who cares? I don't care.
All I know is one time last year on Twitter and being from North Carolina, living in Charlotte for a little bit, I saw Ben Simmons get referred to as Kangaroo Kid Gilchrist, and that has just stuck with me. That's all I could. That's my only association with Ben
Kangaroo
Simmons
Kid.
at this point.
Because he's from Australia. That's Ben Simmons' new name out there, bro.
That's hilarious.
I
Man.
need that on a T-shirt.
I need that on a shirt, bro. I really do.
Well, I think that wraps up all the awards for the Gauntlet podcast. This is going to be an annual thing. We are going to do this always during Pro Bowl week because, well, let's just face it. If you're a football fan, you don't like
the Pro Bowl.
You don't care
No
about
one
Pro
is
Bowl week.
watching
So we're
Pro
going to do
Bowl
it on Pro Bowl week every year.
Or tomorrow, whenever it starts.
And just so everyone knows out there, is of course we still are going to be rolling after the Pro Bowl. This is 24/7, 365 that we're doing. So we will have an off-season lineup. So please, tune in still and participate. We're going to be bringing
Free
back
agency draft.
of the
We're going to
week.
cover all that stuff.
You're gonna love it.
Everything. We're going to bring back Player of the Week. So we're going to put the polls out on Twitter and on Facebook.
Yep, Legend
Y'all vote
Edition.
for-
Legend
Yeah.
Edition. Yep.
Yep,
We're going to bring back
Legend
some.
Edition, yep.
We're going to
We're
talk
gonna
about
bring back
Legend.
We're
We've
also
done
thinking
more.
about bringing back some classic games and have y'all vote on them so we can highlight them on the show.
We've
So
done
we got
more-
an off-season lineup. We're still keeping it rolling, people. So continue to engage, continue to tune in.
Yeah,
We've done
and
we've
shout
done
out.
more episodes not during the season than during. I mean, we had 18 and 3 weeks of playoffs. So we've got 20. We've done 20. I can't do that math. 23, 24 episodes in season.
Ooh, I like it, Raylan. I like it.
Raylan says we should
I
call
like
it the
it.
The
Gauntlet.
Gauntleys. I like it, Raylan.
Gauntleys.
I like it. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have Raylan
That's
on. We definitely appreciate Megan Price, of course, tuning in, our homegirl. Reaper
Price is
tuning
right.
in. All the comments that we've been getting. Zach, of course, Zach Attack, showing up this
Thanks for
week.
joining us, Zach.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Appreciate all of you guys.
Absolutely. Come back anytime.
So next Saturday, we're gonna discuss
Super
the
Bowl,
bowl.
baby.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss the bowl.
Superb owl.
And we will have a Bengals fan in attendance, and we will have a Rams fan in attendance. But we're definitely going to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, guys, and you can definitely catch us all. Obviously here on Saturday nights, 4 Horsemen. Got to pick up the big 4, and then Tyler's even wearing the short of the 4 Horsemen. So yeah, for your best NFL content, we're going to still be bringing it really hard in the off season. The other thing is with the NBA still going on. Obviously, Megan doing her thing with the sip off. You guys can check that out on Thursday nights, I believe, and then the
NBA carousel
on Monday. So I'm actually taking my talents to South Beach to get on the carousel for the first time covering the Sixers.
Yeah,
so
you can see
really
all 4
fun.
of us on both of those shows.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So
7 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern, 8:15 Eastern. Back to back.
100%, guys. So that being said, shout out to the Sideline Sports family for supporting us, and shout out to Score Them Score app. Make sure you guys hop on that for the Super Bowl, compete against your friends, everything like that. With that being said, guys, we will see you guys next weekend for our Super Bowl show. See you there.